What is going on, guys? It's my day off finally, and I've been plugging away at the Miata. I got some stuff going on. So last time I saw you guys, I was supposed to go hang out with Brian and spool the car up and do all these damn things. I did spool the car up. I didn't film anything of it because I was by myself at the house. Never went to go see Brian. So, and then going into my work week, I've been slammed all week, and today was like my first day off of my weekend. So I've been working on the car all day. So I got a sweet turbo blanket in from PTP, so I'm gonna put that on tonight. I got a little wastegate blanket guy. As you see, I have the intercooler off right now. So when I had my turbo drain hose, if I can find it, it's right here. I had the turbo drain hose, and it got pretty cooked from the hot side of the turbo when I put the big turbo on, because the exhaust housing is just so much bigger. You know, it was a lot closer with the drain. So as you see here, we got one toasty boy. So luckily, if we start here, we follow this to here and all the way down there. That is actually the leftovers from when I did the feed line on the car. So luckily I have extra dash 10 laying around. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. And that's probably gonna be it for the night. Tomorrow, I have a couple things I need to do. So I mentioned before about my transmission dump valve. Basically, I gotta top off the transmission fluid, and I have to pin a couple of wires into the fuel tech, which I have just laying here. I don't know if I'll be able to show you right now, but if we go behind the fender well, up in here, there. So you can see the valve right there. So basically, I have two lines that go to my transmission cooler. One goes straight from the trans to the cooler. The second one now stops at the T-fitting on the dump valve. Then it goes to the cooler, and whenever I activate this dump valve, it will then take the fluid and take it straight to the bottom of the oil pan on the trans. That way it relieves all the pressure out of the torque converter, allowing me to essentially slip the torque converter. Now, this can be used for two different things. Main purpose for me right now is that way I can get up on the two-step faster. Through tuning, pulling some fuel out, adding timing, I've actually got the spool time down to about 7 seconds now. And hopefully the dump valve will give me maybe another second on top of that. So that would help tremendously. So anything I can do to make this thing spool up just a little bit quicker. I don't want to go to a looser converter. I like the converter being tight, and it helps with streetability as well. So, yep, we got the front end apart, and that's what I'd be doing right now. I'm gonna go ahead and make a new drain hose, and yeah. So the first thing I did was I took the fittings off the old hose. And like I said, this is the reason why I'm replacing it, just because it's burnt. Now the cool part is, if you look inside the hose, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but the actual inside of the hose, there's no issue at all with it. But I definitely want to be preventative about it, because this is not something you mess with. Oil and fire, they lead to very serious problems. So I'm going to go ahead and put the fitting, I'm going to put the straight fitting on the new hose. We'll go mock it up in the car to figure out the length that I want, cut it, put the fitting on, moving on from there. All right, so now I've bolted the intercooler back on, and we can see the turbo drain is right there. It's really hard to find, like, to see this where I'm at, but basically what we're trying to do now is avoid the hot side of the turbo. Yeah, you can't see anything, my goodness. We're trying to avoid the hot side of the turbo, so what I'm gonna do is swing it closer out and basically come around and then down into the turbo drain on the cover. So that is my plan. So the very important tools that you need now when you're trying to determine the length of the hoses you need, those are your two most important deals. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna climb up here. Now I can see it, but it's just hard relaying it on camera. We're away from the turbine housing now. So now what we're going to do is climb down here, and we are basically going to hold the hose right next to the fitting down there. Man, it's just so hard to film this. I'm so sorry, guys. You can see the hose down there, the fitting right there on the front cover. So what we need to do is hold the hose next to there, and then what I'm going to do is find the rough area of where I want the hose. I'm going to tape it, and then once I tape it, put it back down, figure out where I want with the Sharpie mark, and then we will cut the hose to the length we need and then reassemble the hose from there. All right, so as you can see here, I marked the line of where I wanted to cut it. So I put the hose in the bench vise just to support it. I'll hold the other hand of the hose and slides down a little more. One tool that I picked up this year was this Milwaukee cutoff wheel, and I could not tell you how big of life changer this is for me. Now, why is it every time I'm trying to film something, it comes out worse? That wasn't the best, so what I'm going to do now is just make it even, I guess. That wasn't exactly good. Alright, so now that's much better. So now, you see that I taped this on, so I put a piece of tape around it. So let's go ahead and peel the tape off, and then I will show you why I did that. So, now that the tape's off, you can see now that I just have a very nice front surface, which is going to be perfect when we go to put the fitting on. Because when you put the fitting on, you have to slide this piece right on, and if you have any nicks or burrs, it makes it so much harder to do so. So now that I got the fitting on, you can see it's nice and deep in there. It's all the way pushed up to the edge. So now I can go ahead and put this into the vise again, and then start to put the other end of the fitting on. But actually, you know what? We messed up. Being the fact that this was caused by a fire, no, not fire, but heat, I completely forgot one major step, so I gotta pull that off. This heat sleeving I got from David at Finish Line Factory. It is fiberglass reinforced. Before I put this on, I have to slide this over, so what I do want to do is at least figure out a rough length of what I'm going to put on. So I don't want all of it to be covered, but we're definitely going to have some of it. So let me go ahead and trim that, and then we'll go back to what I was doing. Alright, so now we can appreciate this under the car together. So as you can see, the bottom of the drain, it's all tied up. I put the heat sleeve over it and just use a metal zip tie. I did actually use a little bit longer of a piece than I showed you guys, but hey, it's in. Fits kind of well. We'll see how it works. It almost seems like it goes up and then down, which might not be ideal, but we'll see. It is, I lied, it's pretty flat. So it should work pretty well. Cool. So next is putting on the turbo blanket. Alrighty, so now I got the turbo blanket done. Wrapped it around the best I could around the sides, and then installed the spring retainer guys. So one of the other things that I'm excited to do now, even though it was a complete and total pain in my ass earlier, is whenever I put the intercooler on the first time, the only bolts I had laying around were these hex head. And whenever you have to do the one on the back, it literally took me 45 minutes to put that one screw out.
I had to cut an Allen head and just work it a little bit by a little bit by a little bit. So right before Lowe's closed, I went there and picked up some hex head stainless steel bolts, and hopefully that does the trick now. And just like that, the intercooler is all back together. Got the new stainless bolts. I got the new turbo blanket, the new wastegate blanket. Got everything all tied back up and put it back together. So tomorrow I need to pull the dash, pin a couple wires, and then we are installing that new box that I got from Carbon Miata. So I am extremely excited for this. Mark has been a big supporter of the build for a very long time now. My last setup, when I had the 1.6, I actually had the first pair of his carbon fiber front fenders, and then of course I drilled holes on them and cut them up for my old fender flares. But a lot of people are upset about that, but it's my car, I can do what I want. So yeah, so like I said, excited to do that. I'm going to put the other bumper on. This is the race bumper. It is going back upstairs. I will be putting on my show / street bumper again and whatnot. So old turtle, hopefully, is going to be driving around tomorrow. I did decide I'm not going to the track on Friday or Saturday. I keep rushing to want to go to the track and keep driving, but I just kind of want to take a weekend and just chill. So if I can just drive it around, put some street miles on it this weekend sometime, that'd be cool. Supposedly we're supposed to be getting either a tropical storm or a hurricane this weekend. I don't know which, so I'm sure a lot of rain's gonna be coming our way soon. But there's actually supposed to be a car show in Daytona. Slammed Enough is the name of it, and that's on Sunday. So I actually have the day off from work, and I registered to go. So hopefully I'll still go. I don't know what's gonna happen now with the weather, but I guess we'll play it by day. So anyhow, I am going in for the night, edit this video, and probably play some Call of Duty with Kev. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you later.